What's up, you guys? Aftershare Reacts here, and today I'm going to be reacting to some more Stargate SG-1. This is Season 4, Episode 13? Yeah. I have something in my eye and it's driving me insane. I was supposed to record this last week, but I took a week off of my regular content. I just needed some time, I guess. Also, I have a front fringe now. I don't know how I feel about it. So, yeah, that exists. God, this is so annoying. Won't get out of my eye. Am I freaking anyone out by touching my eye? Probably. Anyways, let's go over the comments. The thing about Mary's friends is that they aren't a threat. They just want to stay hidden, and as we saw, they're interested in keeping people away from secrets as anyone. Stargate Command has no reason to care now that their own people are free, so the show just ignores them disappearing, as that's actually a good outcome for the SGC. Right. It's been 2 weeks since I watched that episode. I don't even remember what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Although, I will say, earlier on I was thinking about the Point of No Return episode. And, like, I was thinking about how there was, like, a Smallville episode that was, like, a character thought he was an alien. And for most of the episode you thought he was an alien, but he ended up not actually being one. So it's interesting that, you know, he actually ended up being an alien here, this Willie Garson did. Anyways, and then we got, Zulu, short for Zulu time, is used in the military and in navigation generally as a term for Universal Coordination Time, UCT, formerly called Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Oh, okay, that's what GMT means? I've always wondered, but never looked it up because I didn't wonder that much. Yes, think about the issues we have with scheduling things with some of us in Australia time, some in London time, some in EST, PST, and others. Now imagine if you're in a craft that is moving around, changing which time zone it's in. To fix this issue, the US military has everyone that is at sea, in the air, or in space be in a single time zone, Zulu. Okay. They lost control of the ship's engines to get them back home. What they tried to do was use the jets on the missiles, since they are all Earth-based tech. They could still control those. Okay. Still confusing. The problem is normally the clamps release the missile before it ignites the jets. In this case, they tried to keep the clamps on so the missiles would push the ship, but the clamps were not designed to handle that much pressure. The missiles came free and were not able to move the ship enough. Okay, well, that still didn't make any sense to me. But thank you for trying. My Chaka being a voice-modulated young Paul Wesley joke was originally going to be a young Ian Somerhalder, but I knew you'd see right through that shit. Kudos to me for keeping you in the dark until the following weeks. Notes to tell you that about having made it up. What can I say? I like catching you off guard. And also, I'm really good at keeping secrets. I'm not. I'm pretty bad at keeping secrets. I get too excited about things and I'm like, look at this thing. Sorry. Yep, I've been trying to edit that way for a while now, and with 4x09, I finally hit the big one. Daniel introduced himself as Samantha Carter. Added later. And again, for the edit of 411, I'm on a roll. From what I understand, and this is from a source on Reddit. Oh, okay, so I'm not sure if it's legit. It was basically a joke from the producers on set, lighthearted, nobody's feelings were hurt. Christopher Judge kept asking if he could have hair on the show, and the producers said no. One day before shooting 401, Chris rolls up with the hair, and the producers were like, you can keep the soul patch. A couple episodes worth of shooting later, Chris realized how weird it looked and decided to shave it off. Really? That's all it is? Okay, that's bizarre. Me, I need my PC to play games with my favorite person, you. Daniel Jackson? Me. Sure, Daniel, sure. But could you imagine, though, having him play with us? I feel like he would... I don't mean this to sound mean to him, but I feel like he'd be kind of, gaming inept? I don't know. Do you think he would be a gamer? I don't think so. I don't know. This is not the first time O'Neill attributes magnets being the reason behind something. It's become a running gag on the show by now. Also, another fun note to point out, gag that RDA has used several times whenever he's holding a cup of what probably holds coffee or something. He looks into it, gives it a weird look, and supposedly starts fishing a hair or something out of it. Really? I reckon it's probably because someone's put something in his drink one time, and so he's paranoid, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe someone keeps doing it. I don't know. O'Neill's quip about Marty's mention of the Stargate sounds like a great idea for a TV show. It's not a dig at the show. It's actually conspiracy theories out there that this entire franchise was used to cover up a real-world secret program involving an actual functioning Stargate. A few years ago, there were other stories not related to the Stargate conspiracy where someone hacked into NASA and apparently found detailed descriptions of crew rosters, including non-terrestrial crew, as in not originating from Earth. Yeah, I know that. I'm not 100% on board with any of this, but I'd like to give it somewhat of a chance that it might actually be true, and Stargate was made to cover up things, because I think it'd be cool. Could you imagine? 10 years from now, they're like, there is a Stargate. We've been using it for the past 20 years. We made a show to cover that shit up. I figured you'd have a bit of a laugh at Tilk's huge smile when he laid back on the vibrating bed. I was wrong. I wish I could tell you if these things actually exist, but I haven't been to many motels or hotels to confirm. I love how even though Sam and Daniel are being held hostage, they seem to not give a fuck and are kind of just making fun of the situation. I know, I thought that was great. It kind of shows how they've come a long way, and that getting kidnapped by a bunch of goons is just another Wednesday for them. Yeah, it was great, especially, for Daniel, I feel like, because, well, Sam's military trained, right? Whereas Daniel wasn't really, so... why would the psychiatrist clear out his entire office? If I was dropping off the radar, I wouldn't be taking the time to clear out my place. I'd just get some stuff together and just leave. I agree, but maybe he was really attached to all of his office. Maybe that was his entire... Maybe he was living there. I don't know. Assume another identity on another side of the world. The shot of Marty and SG-1 jumping out of the building because of a potential bomb looks kind of janky. If you play it back, you can clearly see the stunt double's faces. Oh. Yeah, no, I didn't notice that. I might want to check that out later. Using Zulu is to indicate the time is a whole lot of confusement that I'm sure would be too complicated to understand, nor for me to explain in an easy way. It's basically how military and navy from countries all over the world coordinate their times with each other. Alright. You ask why they're running out of power on the X-301. I don't know, I think it might have something to do with the fact that they accidentally flew into a missile. They did? Oh. Man, I don't know. It was confusing. I mean, yeah, what's the subject from still detonating the Nakoda bomb to complete his mission? That didn't really make sense. Yes. Had to think for a second there what you were talking about. Well, Daniel, you tried. You pretended to be the great and powerful Oz, but sadly, the Goa'ulds want to take a peek behind the curtain. That was that was actually really funny. The whole using the rings to transport them aboard thing is a bit janky. The moment the canopy on the 301 blew, O'Neill and Tilk would have suffocated from extreme hypothermia. Space is very, very cold. I mean, they'd be visibly freezing once inside Jacob's ship, but they came out basically unharmed. Yeah, I agree. That was kind of janky. Okay, guys. I know you're all excited about the rescue that was a success, but stop littering the control room by throwing papers around. Who's gonna clean that shit up? Not it. I don't want to do it. You do it. I have to agree, 412 was a bit slow paced, but we learned two things. Earth has its first spacecraft, and the Goa'uld have another enemy. Another enemy to worry about. They will all tremble at the mention of the great and powerful Oz. Okay. Magic fingers, vibrating beds were big in the 60s and 70s. They could be found in quite a few motels and hotels. I saw one in a hotel as a kid in the 80s. The company still exists today and sells systems to use at home. It's so bizarre. Like, what is the point in a vibrating bed? Like, I do have to wonder. Like, what is the point? Can confirm I've seen them very rarely, but I've seen them. What is the point? I guess maybe as a kid, like when you're a baby, you like get rocked to sleep. Maybe it's soothing. Maybe you don't grow out of that. I don't know. Anyways, we have an episode to get into. Let's get into it. Rawr, rawr. Man, I'm pretty sure I have a hair in my mouth and I can't get it out, so.
What's that?
That's Tilk's into this stuff. I don't get it. A great week is in store for you. You'll be going on a trip.
Let me see that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What?
He's dead.
Who?
My archaeology professor.
Lab explosion. You learned from a guy that was Australian? Well, he had an Australian accent. It's a little difficult to tell these days when it comes to Australian and New Zealander accents for me. Because it's either really over the top and I'm like, well, you suck. Because, like, that's not what I sound like. But then when they sound like me, I'm like, maybe it's New Zealander. I've been trained to believe that the bad accent. But I don't believe that. That makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. Ba 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 ba. La la la. La la. I'm sorry to anyone's ears that I've just heard.
I worked with Dr. Jordan for close to 15 years. He was like a father to me through his many successes and some of his bitter disappointments.
Fuck you! I like you already. Your
I'll
fault.
remember him always as a dedicated archaeologist, kind and generous man.
There's no emotion being
And
put
true
into
friend.
this speech. It's like just reading. I don't know. That guy did not put like emotion into that at all. He was just reading.
The prodigal son returned.
Sarah.
Stephen?
Daniel, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Are you Australian?
Despite the circumstances?
Is this an
I
ex-girlfriend?
know. I still can't believe he's gone.
Oh, you're British. I know. I still can't
So-
believe he's gone.
What exactly happened? I mean,
Sorry.
the paper I read attributed his death to the curse of Osiris.
According to the police, he was
It
killed
was
in-
you. I don't actually know if it was him.
I would have called you, but nobody knew where to find you.
I would have
That's,
called you, but nobody
it's
knew
okay.
where to find you.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here. Is she actually British? I don't know. It sounds very posh. Oh yeah, she's from London. Alright,
So,
cool.
how long?
Oh, originally from New Zealand.
4 years.
5.
What have you been
Okay,
up to?
she's New Zealander. Well, that's why it
I've
doesn't
been
sound
busy.
right.
Really? I've looked
Really?
for signs of you out there in the fringes. There's been no papers, no research projects. It's like you fell off the face of the
Oh,
earth.
she was on
Yeah, it is a
The
little like
Witcher.
that, isn't it?
As I recall, the last time I saw you,
That's
you
where I
were
know it from.
giving a lecture to an empty room.
Yeah, well, it was full when I started.
Well, maybe the world just wasn't ready to hear that pyramids were built by aliens, or was it men from Atlantis?
Stephen, please.
Yes, Stephen, please.
Why did you come? You managed to stay away all this time. If you're looking for closure, Daniel, I'd say you're a little late.
Always a pleasure, Stephen. So, you doing anything? Or?
No. I'm all yours.
Did you need to
I'm
have
sorry.
the British
It's not
accent?
usually like this. The last couple of days have been really hard on him.
Stephen, no, he's right. I should have come back sooner. I guess I was afraid I wouldn't be welcome.
Are you joking? You know, even after everything that happened, Dr. Jordan never thought any less of you. You were his best
Like-
student.
Yes, that
The
became the
professor
laughingstock of
was
the
had
archaeological
an Australian
community.
accent, I believe.
He kept hoping you'd find proof, something to shut everyone up.
No, he thought I was nuts.
That's not true. Look, why do you think it's so hard for Stephen to see you here? He's always been in your shadow, even after you left.
I hear his book's on the bestseller list.
I know. He's getting Porsche.
Ow!
I know. Look, I have to admit, I thought you didn't come back because of me.
No, that's not it.
We could have ended it better than we did.
Maybe.
Is it ex-girlfriend?
The truth is, I got caught up in something incredible.
You found something, didn't you? Something that supports your theory. Tell me. Come on.
I can't.
Daniel.
Okay, let's just say that what the world knows about ancient Egypt barely scratches the surface. The truth is more incredible than any of us ever imagined.
Now you're just
Now
teasing.
that's the Daniel I remember. Come on. I want to show you something.
So Carter, you finally ready to take me up on that fishing trip?
Actually, sir, I have a few projects on the go.
Oh, come on.
Still.
Are you really trying to tell me you'd rather work in the dark, dank, dismal underground than sit on a dock with your feet perched up, sipping a cold one and casting for that ever-elusive crappie?
Strange as it may sound, sir. Yes. Have a good time.
To each his own.
You keep asking it. She keeps saying the same thing.
So Teal'c, this would be great. Just you and me. What do you say? Come on. The loons. Don't forget the loons.
Just so we're clear on this, sir, it's gonna be me, Teal'c, and the great outdoors. That means no cell phones, no fax machines, not another living soul for miles. Will be unavailable, inaccessible.
Incommunicado.
Minnesota, sir.
I stand corrected.
If there's an emergency back at the base, better plan ahead and tell me now. If Thor needs me, he's gonna have to beam me up. If the Tok'ra, forget it.
Excuse the state of things. Budget cuts. I'm straightening the mess out, but these things take time.
Oh, I understand.
So what am I looking for?
An
Oh,
article went missing from the
I
steward.
recognize her.
The ISIS jar.
No, actually, I'm referring to a gold amulet with a little ebony, it's listed as item 14C.
That was sent up to Dr. Jordan along with the rest of the artifacts.
You sure?
I sent it myself. I can show you the paperwork.
No, what's this, ISIS jar you were talking about?
I'll show you. The damn crate was mislabeled when it came in. I only found it a couple of days ago.
This one?
Oh, yeah. Never seen those symbols before, have you?
Yes. I'm gonna need to do a translation.
Carter,
Sam, it's me.
hang on a sec. Thanks for your help, Sergeant.
Yeah, no sweat, Major.
Where are you?
In the basement of a museum looking at what appears to be an Egyptian burial jar.
Okay.
Which may not seem out of the ordinary in a museum, granted, but there's something else besides the usual hieroglyphs. There's a second set of markings. They're Goa'uld symbols.
Why did you put that in so quickly? You didn't even catch anything.
There appears to be no fish here, O'Neill.
T, it's not about the actual fish themselves. Fish are not important in this context. It's about fishing, the act of fishing itself.
I see.
You didn't.
By request of General Hammond.
Good boy.
What? Yes, Daniel. This is right here. Please hold.
Daniel Jackson. We have caught nothing. We are fishing.
Right. Listen, I need a little help with a translation. I've got a line here that reads, Hakor Kra Terak Shri.
Banished to oblivion.
Okay, thank you.
If you require assistance, I would be more than happy to return to the SGC.
No, thanks. I think I can take it from here.
Are you certain?
Give me that. Goodbye, Daniel.
No, wait. The hieroglyphs identify the jar as belonging to Isis, who is the Egyptian mother goddess.
A Goa'uld?
As possible. See, Isis was the consort of Osiris, supposedly the first pharaoh of Egypt. Now, according to legend, he was placed in a magic box and dumped into the Nile by his brother Seth.
Now that name I recognize.
We've met that guy.
The Goa'uld symbols indicate that Isis
Was that
and
the guy
Osiris
that
suffered
I
some
got
sort of,
confused with another guy? Or was that the
punishment
guy
or
that
banishment?
Where to?
Died on the
I have
moon?
no idea.
No, not the moon. It was a planet. They blew up a planet. I don't know.
the contents analyzed.
Leave me alone.
no,
I
I'd be
just
careful
need
if I were you. For all we know,
confirmation
it
as
could
to
be some
which
sort
one
of
it was. Was it the
Goa'uld
one with
booby
all
trap
the
left
guns
behind by
and
Osiris as
the
a
minions?
means of revenge. Also, it's cursed. So.
Thanks for the warning. A preliminary analysis of the jar indicates the exterior is ordinary ceramic. It also appears as if the seal has been damaged.
Any indication of what might be inside?
Well, hopefully a computer-enhanced MRI will tell us something.
Is that what I think it is?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
It's a Goa'uld symbiote.
dead or alive?
By all rights, that Goa'uld symbiote should be a dried-up, desiccated husk, but instead, it's in perfect condition. Now, at first, we thought it had been preserved like a specimen in formaldehyde, but now we are not so sure.
What do you mean?
Well, sir, the outside of the jar is ceramic, but the inside is a technologically advanced containment vessel. There's a tiny Naquita power source designed to emit a low-level electrical
Knack what
charge.
it is, knack what
Well,
it
we can't be
that.
certain yet, sir, but I would guess that the jar is some sort of stasis chamber.
From what we've been able to gather, sir, we think that the symbiote was alive when it was placed inside.
Why would it allow itself to be removed from its host and placed in stasis?
I don't believe it had a choice, sir.
Major, if what you're saying is true, and the second jar survived the trip unscathed.
Yes, sir. There could be a Goa'uld out there.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Yeah, I was just doing a little extra research.
I went by Stephen's place and he's gone. He's just packed up everything and left.
I know.
You think he stole the amulet, don't you?
Yes.
To stop your theories from being proven correct?
It's possible. Anyway, I have to find him.
I'll come with you.
No, it's too dangerous.
We're talking about Stephen here.
Sarah, there have been 3 deaths already.
3?
They found the body of the technician who did the carbon dating on the amulet.
Daniel, I know Stephen. He may be capable of a lot of things, but he's no murderer.
Well, you may not know him as well as you think you do, at least. Not anymore.
What's that supposed to mean? Oh, let me guess, you can't explain, right?
Sarah?
Well, what do you expect, Daniel? You show up after 5 years, but you can't say where you've been. You've got this mysterious ability to be able to read an ancient language which nobody's ever seen before, but you can't explain how. And when we finally find the evidence that's able to vindicate you in front of the entire archaeological community, you want to cover it up. What is going
He
on?
doesn't need that kind of validation. He knows he's right.
This is me, Daniel.
I know.
Then why can't you trust me? What have you been doing for the past 5 years?
I want to tell you, Sarah. I do, believe me. I wish you could see some of the things I've seen. But the world is not ready to know. Not yet.
I'm not asking you to tell the world. I'm asking you to tell me. This is my life's work too, Daniel. So you're working for the government? What? Daniel!
I'm sorry.
You're just going to disappear again, aren't you?
Probably.
Yes.
I think Stephen was right. You never should have come back.
I think I know why this place doesn't get any tourists.
According to the GPS, we've still got another 10 miles.
That thing definitely got destroyed by the explosion. I believe you, my dude.
I'm not sensing anything. He's not Goa'uld.
Stephen.
He's bleeding internally.
Stephen, it's me.
Daniel,
What happened?
I took the amulet. It's over 10,000 years old. Your theory was right all along. I'm sorry.
Just take it easy, okay? I need you to hold still.
It's okay, she's a friend. What about the jar?
Huh?
The Osiris jar, did you open it?
No.
Why did you come here?
I figured out the amulet was a key. There's a hidden chamber. I wanted to make the discovery.
Daniel, we have to get him out of here.
Stephen, who did this to you?
I did.
Sarah?
Daniel Jackson. You seem to know much of the Goa'uld, much more than any other human I have encountered since my awakening. Now, tell me, where is the Stargate?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Insolence. This temple was once filled with worshippers.
Yeah, well, times have changed.
So I have observed. Where is my brother Setish?
You mean Seth, he's dead. We killed him.
You lie.
No, we also killed Ra, and Hathor, and, who else? Sokar?
Then you have done me a
Sokar.
great favor.
Seth is the one that was in one episode.
No.
Sokar was the one
no,
that
he won't rule it all. You see,
I
we don't
thought was
worship
Seth.
false gods anymore.
You have come far, it is true, but you are still weak. Even now you are torn between your desire to kill me and your concern for my host. She freed me from my long sleep. What do you know of my queen?
She was trapped like you. We have the jar.
Where is it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
You are mistaken. Where is my queen? Tell me. What is this? What have you done? You will pay for this impudence.
Bloody ship, what the hell?
Make no mistake. Osiris will return, and the rivers of the earth will run red with blood.
Maybe ship with...
You all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm getting used to that thing.
Where's Osiris?
Gone.
Steven,
If we get him out of here right now, I think I'll make it.
in the meantime, I guess we better make up a story to tell him.
Alright. Well, it looks like we have another another bad guy to deal with. Being Osiris. Yeah, it was nice to see a little bit more of like Daniel's life, I suppose, before he was part of the SGC. Before he went on his first mission. But yeah, it's a decent episode. I like that it wasn't like wrapped up super fast like a lot of episodes tend to do. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.